Okay. So today we'll be doing the introduction to Sankhya Darshana, where I will talk about the elements which are included in Sankhya Darshana. Then we will go into the sutras and also the chanting of the sutras. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, okay.
You're able to see it now?
Yes, we are able to see.
Okay. One second. Okay. Is it good now? Are you able to see it as a full screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so concentrate now. This is about the Sankhya philosophy, where there are 25 elements. When you consider the God aspect, it makes the 26th element. But this is not part of Sankhya. This comes only when we are talking about yoga. Remember that. Okay. So in Sankhya, we have the first element, which is, or tattva. These elements are also called tattvas. The first tattva is Purusha. Okay. Purusha is the consciousness or the seer, which is also called as drashta in Sanskrit. Okay. So make a note, whoever is making a note, please make notes. This is important. This is also called pure consciousness, Purusha. Now, you might have questions like, would there be one Purusha or are there multiple Purushas? So, the Purushas are multiple because every person would have a Purusha within. Getting it? So, Purushas are multiple. But the Prakriti aspect is singular. Okay. It is the one which plays for different Purushas. So the Drishti or whatever we see is the same, but the Purushas are different. Get this concept correctly. So the Prakriti remains the same, but the Purushas are different. The Purusha, for every being, there is a Purusha. So please remember there are multiple Purushas existing. Okay, we might change forms, we might get into different forms, but each of us has a different Purusha, but the Prakriti remains same. Okay, so these are the two fundamental aspects which are very important and preliminary for the other things to evolve. Okay, when the Purusha and Prakriti are separate, okay, they are not combined, that is when everything is in a very stable state. Prakriti, the gunas which are part of the Prakriti are all equal. There is no difference in sattva, rajas and tamas. They are all in equal ratios. That is when nothing manifests. Everything is in an equilibrium state. But when these gunas vary or the ratios change, that is when it starts to evolve into other things. Okay. So when Prakriti and Purusha come together, okay, why do Prakriti and Purusha come together? Because of the ignorance that one has. Okay, because of avidya. Because of avidya, Purusha and Prakriti come together. Okay, so when Purusha and Prakriti come together, what is that which gets created very first? The first tattva that gets created out of this combination is Mahat. Mahat is also called Buddhi. Okay, so Mahat is also called Buddhi, which is the first creation of the combination of Purusha and Prakriti. Then followed by Mahat, Ahankara is created. Okay, now Ahankara is nothing but the ego or the I sense. This Ahankara can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Okay, so ahankara can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Getting it? So
What does it mean, ma'am? Ego, rajasic, tamasic, or sattvic means? What does that mean?
ahankara, which is the ego or the I-ness, okay, ahankara can have either of these gunas. It can, the I-ness can be sattvic, that I-ness can be rajasic, the I-ness can also be tamasic. Okay, when the I-ness is sattvic, which is, so sattvic, the characteristics of sattva can be defined as prakasha or illumination. Okay, or we can say it is the purity. Okay, sattva can be defined as illuminous, prakasha, the aspect which relates to purity, tranquility, peace. All these aspects are related to sattva. When it comes to rajasic ahankara, rajas relates to the activity. Okay, activity, kriya. Okay, anything that one wants to do, one has an urge to do, that is rajasic. And tamasic is inertia, dormancy, latency, lethargy, dullness. These are the characteristics of tamasic ahankara. Okay, so all these three gunas carry different kinds of characteristics. When you understand, when ahankara combines with sattva, when the I-ness, so just imagine yourself to be a sattvic person. Okay, your ego is of sattva guna. So when you have an ego of sattva guna, you will be able to kind of perceive or cognize aspects which are sattvic in nature. Getting it? You will be a more peaceful person. You would like to evolve, to realize yourself. You would like the spiritual path. This kind of tendency is seen in people with sattva ahankara. Getting it? And people with rajasic ahankara, they have a lot of selfish attitude. They, by hook or crook, want to get things done. They are very self-centered. You see, they want to, by any I can say means, they would like to get their work done. Be it a fair means or an unfair means, they would like to get their work done. So that is the tendency of Rajas. Rajas is always putting people into action. Getting it? So that kind of ahankara is called as Rajasic ahankara. Now, where is the movement happening? Movement is happening in Rajas, right? When ahankara combines with Rajas, that is when activity starts off. Sattva is also kind of static. Tamas is also kind of static. But when it is a Rajasic ahankara goes and attaches with the Sattva, that is when the movement starts off. When the movement starts off, the Sattva and Rajas both together combined, they form all these aspects. You see Manas, Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas. These are the evolutes or the other elements or tattvas which are formed as a consequence of the combination of Sattva and Rajasic ahankara. You getting it? So ahankara, when the Rajasic ahankara combines with tamas, so when these two aspects come together, you see what forms are the 5 tanmatras and the 5 mahabhutas. So these are the aspects which are created or evolved when the ahankara, that is Rajasic ahankara, combines with tamasic ahankara. There is a combination, you understand that. The ahankara is of 3 kinds, which is sattva, rajas and tamas. Now there is a combination of sattva and rajas. The combination of sattva and rajas ahankara leads to the formation of manas, jnanendriya and karmendriya. Okay, the combination of ahankara, that's rajasic and tamasic, the combination of these two aspects creates 5 tanmatras and the 5 mahabhutas. Getting it? Is it clear until this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So manas is called as an Ubhendriya. Ubhendriya means it is both a Jnanendriya and a Karmendriya. Okay, it has certain qualities of Jnanendriya and certain qualities of Karmendriya. So it's called as an Ubhendriya. Okay, Ubhendriya. So Jnanendriyas are nothing but the sense organs that we have. Sense organs are eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue. Okay, now Karmendriyas are the organs of action. You remember Karmendriyas as the organs of action. Okay, so the organs of action are mouth, hands, feet, the excretory organs, and the reproductive organs. These 5 organs are called as the organs of action. Okay, getting it? So eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue. These are the Jnanendriyas or the sense organs through which we get the information from the outside to be able to cognize by the brain. Okay, these are the sense organs or the gateways through which that information enters into our inner being. Okay, this information is passed on to the mind. Getting it? And then the Karmendriyas or the organs of action help us in kind of responding to the stimulus. Okay, so these things you have to remember. You make a note of all these things. Eyes are called as chakshu. Okay, eyes are called as chakshu. You can make a note. Eyes are called as chakshu. Nose is called as grahana. Nose is called as grahana. Ears are called as shrota. Shrotra. So, are you able to write that? Shrotra. It is S-R-O-T-R-A. Shrotra. Skin is twak. T-W-A-K or T-V-A-K. You can write either of those spellings. Skin is twak. Then tongue. Tongue is jihva. J-I-V-H-V-A. Jihva. Eyes are called as chakshu. Nose is called as grahana. Ears are shrota. Skin is twak. Tongue is, what did I say for the tongue? Tongue is jihva.
Jiha.
Yes. So make a list of all these. The Sanskrit names are also very important because you might get that as a question. Okay, these are the Jnanendriyas. And the Karmendriyas are mouth. Mouth, which is, right, mouth, which is vak. Yes. Pani, which is hand. Okay. Feet, which is pada. Okay. Excretory organs are called as upastham. Reproductive organs are called as, reproductive organs are called as upastham and excretory organs are called as payu. Okay, I'll repeat it once again. Mouth is vak. Hands are pani. Feet is pada. Excretory organs are payu. Reproductive organs are upastham.
Ma'am, 1 second. Excretory organs are called?
Excretory organs are called as payu. P-A-Y-U. Payu.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, clear? Can one of you just repeat quickly what are the 5 Jnanendriyas and the Karmendriyas? The 5 Karmendriyas?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Eyes chakshu, nose grahana, ear shrota, skin twak, tongue jiva,
Yeah.
and karmendriyas, mouth vak, hands pani, feet pada, reproductive organ upastham, and excretory organs payu.
Yes. Yeah. So everybody, I think, has made a note of this. Then we are going to, you know how these are formed, right? How are these formed? How are the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and Manas formed?
Combination of sattva and rajas.
Combination of the sattva and rajasic ahankara.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the combination of rajasic and tamasic ahankara? We have the 5 tanmatras and the 5 mahabhutas. Okay. Now, let's see the 5 tanmatras. Tanmatras are Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Okay. Shabda, the sense of hearing. Sparsh, the sense of touch. Roop, the form, the visual form that we see. Rasa is the taste. Gandha is the sense of smell. Now, how is Akasha formed? Akasha is formed with Shabda. Okay. Vayu is formed with a combination of Shabda and Sparsha. Okay. Agni is formed with a combination of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. Jala is formed with a combination of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. Prithvi is formed with a combination of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, and Gandha. Getting it? So this is how the 5 Mahabhutas form
Can you
with the
repeat, ma'am?
combination of the 5 Tanmatras. Yes, I'll repeat it once again. The first Tanmatra to be formed is Shabda. Okay, Shabda creates the Akasha Mahabhuta. Shabda and Sparsha together create the Vayu Mahabhuta. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa together create the Agni Mahabhuta. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa together create the Jala Mahabhuta. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha create the Prithvi Mahabhuta. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, apart from these 25 elements or the tattvas which are given in the Sankhya Darshana, we have the God element that is described as Ishvara in yoga. That is one tattva which is not part of Sankhya. Please remember, because we see yesterday we have seen while I was explaining you about the outline of the Samadhi Pada that we have Ishvara Pranidhana, characteristics of God, Japa, yeah, the name of God, all these aspects, right? So in yoga, you see the Ishvara aspect also. Ishvara is different from Purusha. Okay, Purusha Vishesha. Okay, a special quality of Purusha is Ishvara. Okay, that's how it is defined. Is this clear? Is the Sankhya aspect clear to everybody?
Ma'am, this
Yes.
whole process indicates that how I got my body, is it, ma'am? The
Yes.
physical.
Yes. So see, we only function with these things, right? Do we function with these things or not? Mostly with these things. Yes or no?
Yes,
How
yes,
do we
ma'am.
function?
Yes, ma'am.
We are able to communicate, we are able to understand the world around us only because of our Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and the Tanmatras, right? Isn't
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
So whatever, now you might have this question, now do we all see the things similarly? Do we all understand these things in the same way? No. Each one has a different capability, each one has a different level of understanding, each species has a different kind of cognition, right? So there are a lot of differences between every Purusha. Getting it? So you need to understand that whatever we have as our sense organs and also the actions of organs of action and the tanmatras that we can cognize with, all these aspects are very limited. I think you've heard about the white matter and the black matter, right? The gray matter, which kind of is only 5%, and the black matter is 95% in the universe. I'm talking about the universe. So when they say that the gray matter is 5%, that is nothing but the known aspects are only 5%. That which we can understand in the universe is only 5%. That which is black matter or which we don't understand or is unmanifest is 95%. So this is one very important aspect of the modern science which you can relate here. We think because of the perception or the cognition that we have, we sometimes might feel that we understand everything. But is that everything is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Everybody has a different cognition, perception. These things vary depending on the Purusha. Okay, depending on the nature of the Purusha, these things vary. So how does the Purusha see? The Purusha will be able to cognize or perceive things only when it combines with Prakriti. Now, what does the Purusha want to see? That is the biggest question. So whatever the Purusha wants to see, the Prakriti offers only that. You're getting it? Whatever the Purusha wants to see, the Prakriti would be offering only that. A person who wants to realize the self, wants to walk the spiritual path, that kind of a person has a sattvic guna. So the person would be able to cognize and see all the aspects related to that. A person who wants to live in material life, wants to enjoy life and doesn't want all this, would see something like that. You're getting it? So each Purusha
very beautiful, ma'am. Very beautiful.
Thank you. So each Purusha is different, and the way they combine with Prakriti, that is what manifests in them. Getting it? This is a very, very, very important concept that will lead us into a good understanding of the Yogdarshana. So the Purusha, when it combines with Prakriti, that is when the drama starts off. Until the time Purusha doesn't combine with Prakriti, nothing happens. The Purusha is always immersed in this true self, in the pure form. When the Purusha gets closer to Prakriti, that is when it starts to see all these different aspects that the Prakriti creates. Okay, now what does yoga do? Yoga kind of does the involution journey. Involution is opposite to evolution. Getting it? So if the Purusha doesn't combine with Prakriti, it doesn't give rise to Mahat, Ahankara, all these gunas, manas, jnanendriya, nothing gets created. Okay, so when it is getting combined with Prakriti, all these aspects are getting created. You see, the only function with the jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, the limited knowledge that we have, whatever guna is predominant, we play according to that guna. We play to the tunes of that guna. When we understand this knowledge that Sankhya is giving us, it helps in kind of breaking away from the ajnanam or the avidya aspect. Okay, so that is why the whole philosophy of Yogdarshan is based on this very, very, very strong foundation of Sankhya. Getting it? So if there are no questions, then I would like to probably go to the chanting aspect. Let's see what the time is. Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question. If Sankhya philosophy does not have the Ishvara concept, then can we say that Sankhya philosophy is like kind of atheism and follows atheism?
It is not atheism. It follows Sankhya is very much based on the Vedas.
Okay.
Okay. It is very much based on the Vedas. That is why it comes under Shaddarshan and not under the Navdarshans are there, but the 3 darshans which do not kind of I don't say theist or atheist, kind of even Buddhism, Jainism, and Charvaka also. I don't deny that they don't believe in God. They also believe in God, but here they don't go with what the Vedas have said. They don't go with the authority of Vedas. Which darshanas? Buddhism, Jainism, and Charvaka. These 3 darshanas don't follow what the Vedas have said. They've told that no, what the Vedas have said, we can't follow all this. That is not what we would like. And they came up with their own thought process. Okay. And nevertheless, they also believe in dukkha. They also believe in all these aspects, the spiritual aspects and all that. Charvaka is again a very different philosophy that is very interesting. So it is purely based on the material aspect. They don't believe in anything other than enjoying the material aspect of life. So you are here, you experience whatever it is. They don't believe in what somebody has said and go with that philosophy. They want to experience what it is and they want to get it firsthand. Okay, that is the philosophy of Charvaka. They are materialistic in nature. Buddhism and Jainism, they follow the aspects of all this dukkha and avidya and all this. All these aspects are there in Buddhism and Jainism also. But when it comes to the Shaddarshanas, which are Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva and Uttara Mimamsa, these darshanas go with the authority of Vedas. So you see a lot of foundation coming from the Vedas. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So what I can say is, if you understand the Sankhya Darshana, the elements of the Sankhya Darshana in a better way, it will help you in understanding the Yoga Darshana in a better way. If you're stuck here, it might be difficult for you to correlate the sutras. You might not be able to understand the aspects of Yoga Darshana very well. You might be stuck there. That's why I'm spending so much of time in helping you understand what Sankhya says, because the whole of Yoga Darshana is based on this foundation. And the
I have
other
a
aspect, sorry?
one more doubt.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, so this in Prakriti we have Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Yeah.
So that means then everybody will be having these 3 gunas, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Yes.
So this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and the first one you told, like if one is having more Rajas, he will be selfish. One is having Sattva, he will be more spiritual. So
Yeah.
is there any difference between this the gunas while evolving and gunas of that person? Is there any difference?
See, from the question that you have raised, what I understand is you are asking about the gunas that are inherent in Prakriti, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
those gunas, when will they manifest? When will they show up? Okay, the point when they show up is when Purusha and Prakriti unite. So I said, when the Purusha and Prakriti come together, that is when they form the other things, like all these aspects. Okay, now when Purusha and Prakriti are coming together, whatever latent tendencies the Purusha has, whatever, probably there are some samskaras and vasanas from the previous birth, right, which are yet to be manifested. Okay, when Purusha and Prakriti combine, those latent or inherent tendencies automatically manifest. With the help of what? With the help of Prakriti. If Prakriti doesn't combine with Purusha, it can't manifest. Now, if the Purusha had a vasana which is highly spiritual, the person lost his body when he was in the final stages of the Samprajnata Samadhi, and he was a very good sadhaka. So in the next birth, he will have samskaras and vasanas, which are very strongly related to the samadhi. Okay, sabija samadhi. That kind of a person, when he takes birth, he combines the Prakriti and Purusha combine to generate all kinds of conducive behavior, which is Sattva, which helps in the evolution of that person from that point onwards. Okay, now take an example of a person who was a kind of a very unethical person, very indisciplined person, was not in the right mode, was not handling his life in a good way, was not ethical, things like these. That kind of a person, when he is taking another birth, so again the Purusha of that person combines with Prakriti, and what happens? What happens, can you think, when an unethical person has to take birth? Okay, his vasanas, his previous birth, his samskaras always were bad. And then he is aspiring to take life, take birth. When the Purusha and Prakriti come together, what is that which is going to manifest? You see, a very
Rajas and tamas.
samskara, right?
Mm.
Right? So that kind of a person will kind of unknowingly get into the tendencies which will put him into the same mode. Getting it? He will be thinking the same way, his tendencies will be the same, he will still be unethical, still continue to do all kinds of bad things. That will be his tendency. Why? Because of his past samskaras. Samskaras are not from one birth. They are coming to the person from many births in the past. Okay. Now, what lies dormant is until the time Purusha and Prakriti combine, the vasanas and samskaras are lying dormant. The moment the Purusha and Prakriti come together and it takes a form, that is when everything will start forming. You getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So there is all this information in the Yoga Sutras. In the last chapter of the Yoga Sutras, you will see this. They talk about the birth, they talk about the place, they talk about the samskaras, vasanas, and they say that vasanas and samskaras are not from now. They are anadi. I mean, they are eternal. They are there. Okay, they will be there. So what is yoga doing now? Why do we pick the yogic path? Is to change those samskaras into what samskaras? Into samskaras which help us go into the spiritual path, which help us go into this path of self-realization. Those kind of samskaras will become dominant when we practice the yogic path. All these aspects like yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, all these aspects will actually help the person change their samskara. So it's nothing but re-engineering. Getting it? So that is what it says. What we'll do is we'll do a little bit of chanting. No, I feel we are running out of time. What do you say? Should we do?
Ma'am, I have a question I'll ask next class.
Yes, please. Somebody had a question.
Rajeshwari ma'am, but I'm thinking I might delay you, so I'll ask you in the next class, ma'am.
No worries.
Or you
If
want
we
me to
have
go
time,
ahead?
I think probably we'll do a little bit of chanting, and then if we have time, if you're okay to stay a little longer, then probably I can answer that after the end of
Yeah,
the
sure.
chanting session. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
So I will go into the chanting sheet. If you all have a copy of the Yoga Sutras, I prefer you keep a copy of the Sutras with you all, because I can't see the screen while I'm on the screen of the Sutras. Getting it? If I have to ask somebody to chant the Sutra, it is becoming difficult for me to go back and forth between the screens. Okay, so how many of you do not have the Sutras? Raise your hands. Okay, what I'll do is I'll share the 4 chapters of freedom, a soft copy here in this group. What you can do is you can just download it into your system, whatever the phone or probably the laptop that you're using. I will share this in the chat right away. One second. Huh? This is the one. So probably I'll share it here. Just check. Maybe I kept it open. That's why it's not able to attach, but I'll do it now once again. For people who do not have the 4 chapters on freedom, you can download that book right now and look at it while we are chanting. Okay. I'll have a copy in front of me. Is that fine? Everybody has the book now? Anybody who still says that they don't have the book? Should I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why do I not see the screen? 1 second. Okay, I'll stop sharing this. Now, yesterday we did until 5th sutra, right? 5th sutra. Today we'll start doing it from the 6th sutra. Okay. 1 second. So we'll just quickly revise the first 5 sutras. Just chant, keep your mic muted and just chant along with me the first 5 sutras. Atha yoganushasanam. Atha yoganushasanam. Yogaschitavrittinirodha. Yogaschitavrittinirodha. Tada drashtuswarupe sthanam. Tada drashtuswarupe sthanam. Vrittisarupyamittaratra. Vrittisarupyamittaratra. Vrittayah panchatayah klishtaha. Vrittayah panchatayah klishtaha. Okay, now I'm starting the 6th sutra. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smritayah. So it has pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, and smriti. Okay, these 5 things. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayah. Repeat it once again. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayah. Once again. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayah. We will chant it together. I will ask you all to unmute and chant this once again. Anybody who has a doubt in the 6th sutra, please raise your hand. I can help them chant this one more time. Mintu ji, do you have a question? Or would you like me to help you with the sutra?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to chant along?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
From 6th?
Yeah, from 6th. Would you like to
Oh.
chant the 6th sutra?
Yes, ma'am. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra sritayaha.
Very good.
Pratyaksha anumana agamaha pramanani.
Yeah, stop there, stop there. I will take you through the 7th sutra and then you start chanting the 7th sutra. Okay, so I will do the next 5 sutras until sutra number 10, and then I'll ask each one of you all to chant the 5 sutras together. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah. So the 7th sutra is Pratyaksha Anumana Agama Pramanani. How many kinds of pramanas are there? 3 kinds of pramanas. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama. These 3 are pramanas. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama, Pramanani. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama, Pramanani. Okay. Now we'll go to the 8th one. Viparyayo mithya jnanam tadrupa pratishtham. Viparyayo mithya jnanam tadrupa pratishtham. Viparyayo mithya jnanam tadrupa pratishtham. Any doubt in the 8th sutra? No? Okay. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. 10th sutra. Abhava pratyayalambhana, abhava pratyayalambhana, abhava pratyayalambhana, vrittir nidra. Abhava pratyayalambhana, vrittir nidra. One more time. Abhava pratyayalambhana, vrittir nidra. Any doubt in the 10th sutra?
Ma'am, I have it as tamo vrittir nidra. Is that okay or?
Yeah, you can also, because nidra is tamasic, right? Tamo vrittir nidra is also right. If you don't say tamas, also it is right, because the nidra is a tamasic vritti, right? That is what is given. But when we look at the 4 chapters of freedom, it doesn't give the word tamo. But if you are saying tamo also, it is right. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so I will repeat the 6th to the 10th sutra once again. Please, for the ones who are not very clear, you have to repeat along with me. Okay, so the 6th sutra is Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smritayah. 7th sutra, Pratyakshanumanagama pramanani. 8th sutra. Viparyayo mithya jnanamatadrupa pratishtham. 9th sutra. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. 10th sutra. Abhava pratyayalambhana vrittir nidra. Okay. Gunjanji, would you like to chant?
Sixth one is Pramana Viparya Vikalp Nidra Smriteha Pratyakshalam Pratyaksha Hanumana Agama Pramanani then Viparyayo Mithya Jnana Atadrupa Pratishtham.
Yeah, go on.
Then eighth is
You chanted the 8th one. You have to chant the 9th one.
ninth one.
Yes, please. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha.
Abhava pratyayalambana vritti nidra.
Yeah. Practice it. Gunjanji, you have to chant continuously, okay? Every day I will ask you all to chant without seeing the book. Whatever we have done, the sutras, you should be really thorough with those. Okay?
Yes.
During the day, please allocate some time to learn chanting. Okay? Memorize them. Memorize the sutras. Yeah, Lipalika ji, yes, please.
From 6, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Pramana viparjaya vikalpa nitra smritayah Pratyakshanumana agamaha pramanani viparjayo mithya jnana matadrupa pratishtam sabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha abhava pratyalambana vritti nidra.
Very good. Good try. You have to memorize it, okay? Memorize it. Bina dekhe, you have to chant. The objective is that after a few days, I will ask you all to chant without looking at the book. Okay, you have to be able to do that. The objective is that. Yes. Who would like to go next? Shujaji? Yes, Sakshi Pandeji. Yeah,
Yeah.
Shujaji has opened her camera. Let's give her a chance.
Praman viparyaya vikalp nidra smritayah
Yeah.
Pratyakshanunagama pramanani
फिर से रिपीट कीजिए.
प्रत्यक्ष अनुमानागमः प्रमाणानि.
इसमें there are 3 words. प्रत्यक्ष, अनुमान, आगम. प्रत्यक्षानुमानागम प्रमाणानि. Repeat it.
प्रत्यक्ष
अनुमान.
प्रत्यक्ष अनुमानागमः प्रमाणानि.
Yeah.
विपर्ययो मिथ्या ज्ञानम् अतद्रूप प्रतिष्ठम्. शब्द ज्ञानानुपाति वस्तु शून्यो विकल्पः.
Yes.
अभाव प्रत्यायलंबना वृत्तिर्निद्रा.
Yes. Sakshi ji, repeat the sutras, okay? Tomorrow during the day, you have to repeat each sutra many times. Okay? Let it become
Okay, ma'am.
perfect. Yeah, I will ask you to chant
Yeah,
the
ma'am.
sutras starting from 1 to 10. I will ask all of you to chant without seeing. Please prepare in that way. Yes, Shujaji.
Okay.
प्रमाणविपर्ययविकल्पनिद्रास्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षानुमानागमप्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानम् अतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपाधिवस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभावप्रत्ययालम्बनावृत्तिर्निद्रा.
Good, good. Shravya, would you like to chant? Yes, yes, please.
Yes. प्रमाणविपर्ययविकल्पनिद्रा स्मृतयः अनुमानागमः प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्यज्ञानमतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् सद्ज्ञानानुपातिवस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभावप्रत्ययालम्बनावृत्तिर्निद्रा.
Good, good. Rajeshwari ji, do you want to go next?
Yes, ma'am. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smrtayaha pratyaksha anumana agamaha pramanani. What is the next one, ma'am?
Viparyayo.
विपर्ययो मिथ्या ज्ञानम् अतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभावप्रत्ययालम्बना तमो वृत्तिर्निद्रा.
Good, good. Deepika ji. Yes, yes. Deepika ji, you're not there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. प्रमाण विपर्यय विकल्प निद्रा स्मितः
स्मृतयः. फिर से रिपीट कीजिए.
प्रमाण विपर्यय विकल्प निद्रा स्मितः.
स्मृतयः.
स्मितः.
स्मृति बोलिए.
स्मृति.
स्मृतयः.
स्मितः.
फिर से बोलिए. Repeat the sutra once again. No, repeat the sixth sutra again.
Yes. प्रमाण विकल्प विपर्यय विकल्प निद्रा
Your voice is breaking.
प्रमाण मिथ्या ज्ञान तद् प्रतिष्ठितम् शब्द ज्ञानानुपाति वस्तु शून्य विकल्पः.
धीरे धीरे बोलिए. इतना फास्ट बोलेंगे तो समझ में नहीं आएगा.
अभाव प्रत्यय अलंबन वृत्ति निद्रा.
निद्रा. निद्राह नहीं, निद्रा.
निद्रा.
Okay, so you have to practice a little more. Break it down into words. Don't chant it at one stretch. Like if you're taking 6 sutra, for example, break it down into words. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayaha. If you break it like this, it'll be easy. Okay. If you're finding it difficult, Deepika ji, just let me know. I can take a separate few minutes of chanting practice for you. Okay,
ma'am.
But you have to get it right.
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka ji, yes.
प्रमाण विपर्यय विकल्प निद्रा स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षानुमानगमा प्रमाणानि विपर्यो मिथ्या ज्ञानप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपातिवस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभाव प्रत्ययालम्बनावृत्तिनिद्रः.
Good. A little more practice, okay? Little more practice. Who wants to go next? Anybody who would like to chant? Sarika ji, Lancy Sharma, Mintu ji.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. प्रमाणविपर्यय विकल्पनिद्रा स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षानुमानागमा प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानमतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभावप्रत्ययालम्बनावृत्तिर्निद्रा.
Good. Good. Lancy ji.
Yes, ma'am. प्रमाणविपर्यविकल्पनिद्रा स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षानुमान आगमः प्रमाणानि विपर्य मिथ्या ज्ञानं तद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्य विकल्पः अभाव प्रत्यालम्बनावृत्तिनिद्रा अनु. Yes, ma'am.
Mintu ji.
Yes, ma'am. प्रमाण विपर्यय विकल्प निद्राश्रितयः प्रत्यक्ष अनुमान अगम प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानम् अतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञान अनुपाति वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभाव प्रत्यय अलम्बना वृत्तिर्निद्रा अनुभूत विषय असंप्रमाशश्रितयः.
You're going to the 11th one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Good. Yeah. So anybody who knows the sutras, all the sutras? Anybody who knows all the sutras without seeing? Without seeing, can you chant? Okay. At least Samadhipada. Anybody who knows the Samadhipada sutras without seeing?
I know, ma'am, but in between I need some help.
Okay. Okay. So every day you need to spend like half hour or even more than that for chanting practice. That is very, very important. Not from a general point of view. I'm talking from the examination point of view. This is just for the purpose of your exam. Okay. If you are able to memorize the sutras, more than 50% of the Yogdarshana will be perfect. Okay. Without even knowing the concepts, you can answer the questions. Only by memorizing the sutras. Okay, that is why, see, what is in our hands, what we can do, at least that much we should be able to do, right? For things which are beyond our scope and beyond our level of intelligence, those things we cannot solve. Yeah, those things are always fingers crossed. But things which are in our control and that which we can do, please start working on that right from the beginning. This is the way. This is the way to go. Okay, never miss on that. Easy things which you can do, you should not miss on that. I'm telling you because I've just written it. If you learn the sutras, you will be able to answer more than 50%. Okay, yeah. Dev Kanya ji, you want to chant?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
From the beginning?
Would you like to chant from the beginning?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. अथ योगानुशासनम् योगः चित्रवृत्ति निरोधः तदादृष्टु
Sutra is not very perfect. You have to learn it by breaking the words. Yogas chitta vritti. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Just repeat that once again.
वृत्ति निरोधः
Very good. Yes.
तदा द्रष्टु सारूपेव स्थानं
Swarupe. Swarupe.
स्वरूपेव स्थानं
फिर से बोलो. तदा द्रष्टु स्वरूपे.
तदा द्रष्टु स्वरूपेव स्थानं वृत्ति सारूप्य मितरत्र वृत्तय पञ्चतय क्लिष्टः क्लिष्टः
क्लिष्टाः
क्लिष्टः
actually that is klishta and aklishta.
Yes.
But when you pronounce it as a sutra, it sounds like this. Vrittayah panchatayah klishtaah. That is how it sounds.
वृत्तय पञ्चतय क्लिष्टा
Sixth.
प्रमाण विपर्जय विकल्प निद्रा स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षाणुमाणागामा प्रमाणानि विपर्जयो मिथ्या ज्ञानं तद्रूप प्रतिष्ठितम्
Pratishtitam nahi, pratishtham.
प्रतिष्ठम विपर्जयो मिथ्या ज्ञानं तद्रूप प्रतिष्ठम सव्य ज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्य विकल्पः
10th one.
अभाव प्रत्ययालंबना वृत्ति निद्रा निद्रा only निद्रा no ha
Vrittir.
निद्रा yes अनुभव विषया
We didn't do that. We didn't do the
we didn't do that.
Okay. So please, for the people who are finding it a little difficult with the pronunciation and also the sutra itself, you have to practice. Please put a sincere effort in this. I will keep asking you to chant the sutras every single day. Okay. So any questions before we end the session today?
Yes, ma'am. I had a question.
Yeah.
So when you explained the evolution chart, ma'am, I was wondering when we say yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So does manas mean the chitta, ma'am?
Manas is not chitta.
So where the vritti is getting control, ma'am? Where is this chitta?
Is like a combination of, I can say, chitta is part of the antahkarana. Antahkarana comprises of manas, buddhi, ahankara, and chitta. All these four aspects put together is called antahkarana. Okay. Now, what is happening in the mind is explained as chitta vritti. What is happening within the mind? It can be within each of these different things of antahkarana. It might be in buddhi, ahankara, manas, or chitta. Okay, whatever fluctuations are happening are all called as chitta vrittis. Okay, anything that is happening within the mind is termed as chitta vritti. Any fluctuation. Okay, but when we, what is that which comprises of the entire mind stuff is called as the antahkarana. That is the complete aspect. Now, what does antahkarana comprise of? It comprises of man, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Okay.
So if we are trying to indicate the chitta in this evolution table, ma'am, can you put it next to Mahat and Buddhi? No.
Chitta is not given in the Sankhya elements as a tattva, as a separate tattva. Antahkarana is also not given as a separate element. You see, what is given as a separate element is Buddhi, which is also called as Mahat, M-A-H-A-T, Mahat. Buddhi and Mahat are synonyms which are equal to intellect in English. Okay, then comes Ahankara. Ahankara is I, the I-ness. Okay, then comes the Manas, M-A-N-A-S, Manas. Okay, so these are the three things which are given in the Sankhya table. But the Antakarana and Chitta, these words are not described in the table.
Yeah, makes sense, ma'am, because if we add Chitta, we'll go to 26, and then if we add God, it becomes 27.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any other questions apart from this? I think there are no questions. So we'll end the session today. Is it okay for you all? Because I'm sharing my laptop with my daughter. She actually has a class sometimes until 8:30. Her class ends at 8. That's why I give a half-hour gap so that I can start off. Even if the class delays for a little bit, I can start off at 8:30. But today it went on up till 8:40. So that's why I got a little bit delayed. Is this timing okay for all of you? Any issues with the timing? Because I find it
8:30
easier.
should be fine for me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry?
8:30 is fine for me, ma'am. I don't know about others.
Okay. Okay. Is this time suitable for everybody? People who are working, people who are occupied with other things? Because I wanted to keep this at this time because I'm also available at this time. I have the system available. And I also thought that people who are working and for other people also, it might be a comfortable time. You will always finish everything that you have to do and you will sit for the class. That was my expectation. Okay. So how are you liking it? Are you able to understand anything that you would like me to change in my approach? Am I going fast? Am I going slow? Any
All good, ma'am. All good.
Anything from others? Because what happens is you are the people who are listening, right? I would like to hear from you to know what I can change or improve.
It's
No,
good,
ma'am,
ma'am.
it's good.
Class,
It's
ma'am.
it's
We're
nice
able
and
to.
clear.
Until now, it's good, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's nice and clear.
So I'll keep the same pace. I will not go too fast. I will not make it very slow also. We'll go at the same pace. In 40 classes, around 38 classes, we should be able to complete Yogdarshan if you are attending it every single day. Okay. So Saturdays and Sundays, probably on Sundays, we will not have a class. All the other days, we will try to have a class. Okay. You also make a commitment. I will also be committed until the end of this. Okay. Any other subjects you have any questions you can ask apart from Yogdarshan also. Okay.
Ma'am,
So, yeah.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can I get paper one syllabus?
Syllabus, yes. I'll ask. I'll share it in the group. Did you get the paper 2 syllabus that I shared?
Yes, paper 2 syllabus we got it, but paper 1 syllabus
I'll share the
still.
paper 1 syllabus also in the group.
Okay, ma'am.
No
Thank
other
you, ma'am.
classes started, right? Apart from Yogdarshan. Are you having any other classes?
No,
No,
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. You all can start off. If you feel that you want to start off revising, you can do that. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, you can start off. Don't waste any time. If you have time, make use of it. Okay. So we'll do the ending prayer. Who would like to do the ending prayer today? Yes. Lancy G, yes.
Sit straight, neck and back straight. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Join your hands in Namaskara. Chant one time Om, then Sarve Bhavantu Sarve. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhavet. Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bow your head towards your elder and your deity. Slowly rub your palms. Place on your eyes. Gently open your eyes and come back. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good night.
Thank you so much. Shubhratri to all of you. See you all
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.